Jake from Team Insanity. So I'm here bringing you a big mask show, and this is going to be like a general mask show. If you're trying to get into paintball, welcome. I'm going to give you some suggestions on masks, what to buy, what not to buy, and yeah, all that cool stuff. And for all of you experienced players, I'm also going to compare all the high-end masks that we have up here. We don't have Virtue Vios, but I have used Virtue Vios. We gave Virtue Vios away on our channel. We do giveaways on this channel if you haven't been here before. So, awesome. We have a mask show for you guys. I've done a mask show in the past. I compared a few masks, but I didn't have as many as this. And so now I'm going to redo it. So what I always say is don't go buy cheap $20 masks or $15, whatever you guys buy from like Dick's Sporting Goods, Walmart, anything like that. Don't buy a mask like this. Even though they look good, they're not good. You don't want a mask like this. The reason why is that they're not going to breathe as good. This one actually looks like it's breathable on the sides, but not so much on the front. They're not going to breathe as good. They're going to fog up. They're just not the best. Just don't cheap out and get a $20 mask, because just save that $20 and put it towards a nice mask like these back ones back here. Don't cheap out and get one of these. The reason why is that you're just going to have a bad time, honestly. You know, you can have the most expensive paintball gun in the world. You can have a carbon fiber Lux, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you can't see the opponent. It doesn't matter what cool gun that you have. You won't be able to shoot that person. So, don't get something like this. Don't cheap out. Get this. There's no point. Get a nice expensive mask that I'm gonna go over here in a little bit. Get one of those nice masks like these, because it'll save you money in the long run. It'll save you pain. You'll look good. There's a lot of things that you can do to these masks. You can switch out lenses. I don't think you can buy lenses for these, so just don't get a mask like this one. The cheapest mask that I recommend is a JT Proflexs. The reason why is that they're like 50, 60 bucks around there, depending upon what color combination that you get. And they look good, they breathe good, you can customize them, you can add different things to them, they have different lenses, they don't fog. They're basically just the best, cheapest mask that you can buy, that money can buy, honestly. That's the cheapest that I would possibly go right there. JT Proflexs, that's what I recommend. They breathe good. Even if you get a mask that doesn't really fog that well, it's going to echo. You're not going to be able to hear things as well as other masks, like these high-end masks, minus this one. But you won't be able to hear things. You won't be able to breathe as good. Those one masks that look like they have like characters painted on their face, or like the ones with like the full-blown skull that you can see at like Bass Pro or Walmart, or those kind of masks that are like 40, 50 bucks. They kind of look cool, but you can't breathe or hear for shit in those things, believe me. I've seen them and they suck. You can't breathe, you can't hear. They don't really fog that much, which is cool, but they don't have the quality. And I don't know where you can really buy an interchangeable lens for them, if they even make them. So, you know, their lenses get worn out over time, and this is, you know, your safety. So you want to get a good mask. Proto Pro Axes, you know, these are also a good example of another mask, but you know, a mask like this, it's big, it's heavy, it's not the most amazing thing in the world. You can definitely do it, but you know, I'd definitely suggest masks back here. Okay, you have the Empire Events, the Sly Profits, the V-Force Grillz KLRs, you have the E-Flexes, this is the skull version. You have the Die I4s, which is basically Team Insanity's favorites. Everyone has Die I4s on our team except for one person. So everyone on our team has a pair of Die I4s, literally. So we definitely love this mask the most. We use this mask the most. Nick just got this. Empire makes a lot of other good masks, like the JT Proflexs that I also mentioned. Empire owns JT, so suck it. So Empire also makes good masks. Look at Empire. And I'll get to comparing some of these. There's also V-Force Profilers, which are good. I actually recommend the Grillz a little bit more, even though the Profilers do have a bigger vision. And now they are starting to make more interchangeable lenses for them. Like they came out with the nice HDR lenses, and they make some nice cool lenses for these now. They also started releasing them for the Profilers. So don't just count the Profilers out. They're pretty cool. You have a big vision, so don't count those out. Also, Virtue Vios, I mentioned at the beginning. Go look at those if you want a customizable mask. Watch the HK Army KLR review. That should help you. I like the vios a hell of a lot more. The reason why is that these KLRs, I don't really recommend that much. The biggest reason is these things, they're coming from a company that doesn't have the best, you know, like they don't have good quality control. I mean, I don't know. I did not like them that much. Some people have fogging. The foam falls apart on you. It wasn't my thing. It echoes. Your voice doesn't travel as much. But this is also another mask, a good mask that I would say in the market is if you don't want to buy the vios or the vios aren't your thing, I would look at something like that or this KLR, even though it's definitely not my favorite and I definitely think that there's way more out on the market. But I just believe as of right now, October 31st, Halloween, there is way more better out there for the price that you pay for this mask. There's way better out there. You can customize di-4s and put a different cool lens in it. Or the E-Flexes, you can get a Skull Flex version. There's still a few new ones floating around. You can get cool masks like these, or Sly Profit makes some cool looking masks too. Just get those, honestly. But yeah, the KLRs, they're definitely not my favorite. The foam is bad. Just go watch the review on that. So I'm gonna slowly just start getting rid of the masks that I don't like. Let's move it in. So next thing, this mask, the Sly Profit, I do not like the Sly Profits at all, but they're not a bad mask. They're just not for me. The reason why they're not for me is that they don't have a really quick release system. On the inside, the soft ear, you have like a little, I don't know, it's like a little tab that you have to like, I always would use a butter knife. I had the same exact tab on my Tippmann, my free Tippmann goggles that I got with my Tippmann 98 Custom. That says something out of a $90 mask. This is a sub $100 mask. It's right up there competing with these masks. They need a way better system for quick releases. I know that they made some changes. I don't actually know if that is one of the changes that they just recently made. I didn't do any research on it because I don't like the Sly Profits. I don't like the looks of them, but a lot of people really do. They are used by a lot of people in Woods Ball because they have some awesome cool camo colors, that kind of stuff. They do fog a little bit more than any other mask. I don't know what the fogging issue is. Jacob bought another lens for this and he had some fogging issues with it. I don't know really what it is with these because they are semi-breathable. They're not the worst breathable mask on the market. So I mean, they breathe. I guess it's just the lens coating that they use inside. I don't know. But yeah, I don't like how you have to take out the mask, especially that I've seen it on the lowest of low-end masks. You have to take like a butter knife or a stick or a flathead screwdriver and turn it to the unlock, take this piece off, turn the other one to the unlock and push it out. Like you have to get, I don't know, all these, you don't have to use tools for these basically. And also the other thing is that if you look on the ears, they're like fucking earmuffs, okay? These basically go inside of your ear hole, okay? Which, it's a big pain because I remember right when Jacob got this mask, I got my i4s. Jacob was using the Slys, and you know, he thought that he was cool shit, and he was at the time with this mask. But the thing is that Phil was a farther distance away on the field. Jacob was, it's like, so here's me, here's Jacob, here's Phil. I was in the two-story after the game. I was yelling for Jacob. I'm like, Jacob, Jacob, Jacob. I'm trying to get his attention. Yelling for Jacob. Phil hears me across the field, not Jacob, because Jacob has like, I don't know, it doesn't really have a bad echo because it literally just has an earmuff that goes inside your ear so you don't hear Jack. And I'm just like, Jacob, Jacob, Jacob. And then Phil walks up to Jacob and says, hey Jacob, Jake wants you. Like he was across the field. He was another distance away, and he heard me with a JT. I don't even know what they're called anymore. I forgot. But it's just an older mask. So I mean that proves the hearing on this isn't as good. There has been a few fogging issues that they've fixed, but they haven't fixed. Like I don't know. They've done a few different versions of this, and it's a cool mask. A lot of Woods Ballers like them, but it's definitely not my favorite mask. Next thing that I really like is the E-vents. I'm just going to move the E-vents next to the E-flexes. Empire makes some awesome masks. Here's two of them right here. The E-vents are one of my favorite masks that I recommend to some people. I haven't really used these as much as my i4s, but I have used them. This was like our designated recording mask. Jacob used these a lot. He put his replay camera on the replay mount on the side and used these. It has a nice quick release lens system on the side, and this is just a really nice, nice setup right here. Now the E-flexes is like the JT Pro is like the E-vents with the JT Proflex bottom with it. That's why it's called the E-flex. You have this whole entire, like the top half of this and the bottom half of the JT Proflex, which is really cool. That's why a lot of people like this, because they like the E-vents vision with the JT Proflex bottom. So this is another awesome high-end mask that Empire does make. They combine two of like the best masks and put them together. Whatever everyone loved of both masks, put them together and they spit out this. This is really awesome. These breathe really well. I love the E-vents. You can add different. Empire makes some really cool lenses to them. I love how they have different lenses. It looks really cool. They have a rain visor or just a visor if you want to get the sun out of your eyes or however you want to do it. The foam on the inside is nice. Even his dog chewed on some of it. That's why we haven't used it as much as we used to anymore. Dog chewed on it, but the foam is still nice on the inside. E-flex foam is definitely way better. I'll get to that in a second, sort of. And there's not a terrible echo in it. You know, when you put it on, you can definitely tell the voice goes out farther. It doesn't stay back here. It does a little bit. I can hear myself, but it does have some nice soft ears. When you're out there screaming on the field, it doesn't kill your ears. It doesn't have a huge echo where you're like, ow, goddamn, kind of thing with like the KLRs or even a cheap mask, or the Grillz have sort of a bad echo. But this is definitely, I love this mask. It has a nice thermal lens. You won't ever have fogging with it. Definitely recommend. E-flexes, that was in the last mask show. The Empire, the E-flexes. This is a really awesome mask. Travis has been letting me use his for a while. This is Nick's. And the awesome other thing that I also said is that you get all the nice cool different lens options, which is really awesome. So I don't know which lens this is. This is one of the newer ones that Nick put on it. It's really cool, and it also has the bendy flexy bottom to it, so you can flex this up like all the JT Proflex people did. As you guys have probably seen with Mills in the videos, he takes his and he folds his up. I'm not going to do this because this is the nice, this one hasn't been broken in yet. People tend to like to heat. I want to recommend it with the Skull Flex. That'd be kind of stupid to fold this up because then it just takes away the whole skull part. But you can literally fold this part all the way up to like sort of the nose in a way. I see people, some people on like PB Nation actually recommend like sort of heating up the plastic, not like melting wise, but like taking like just a simple lighter and just holding it down here and heating it up just for a little bit so it gets a little bit warmer, or just leave it out in the sun if you live in an area like Arizona, California, or you live out in a really sunny state. Even if it's a hot day, leave it out in the sun like this so it heats up, and then you can take it and you can fold it back and then you put it away in the shade in a nice cool area, and that way it's basically permanently there until you really have to fold it down. A lot of people do that, so just, I mean, I don't know, I've never heated it up before. I was just reading that a few days ago. People were just like, yeah, if you really want it to stay permanently there or fold it up all the way, then you can really fold it up, and once it gets a little bit warmed up from what it normally is at room temperature, you can fold it up, which is cool. I don't know if it's really true. I mean, if you do it at your own risk. I don't suggest taking a blowtorch to the bottom of it and melting the plastic, but definitely leave it out in the sun. Let it heat up for a little bit, even on a day of playing, and if it's nice and hot, take it, fold it, put it in your car, and blast the air conditioning on it if you live in a hot state or something like that. And supposedly it's definitely supposed to help it stay permanent. The inside of the foam in this is absolutely crazy. I'm sort of like half and half on it. It's almost like there's too much foam on the inside. When you put these on, it's like having a huge memory foam mattress just on your face. It's just like having a big, it's taking your head and stuffing it in a big fuzzy big ass teddy bear. This foam is really, really intense. The first time I ever tried on E-Flexs, I was like, damn, that's a lot of foam. Also with the E-Flexs is that they are very, very breathable. And if you bring this up, this is one of the most breathable masks on the market, especially if you bring this up. Another reason why people flex them up is because then you can spit out of them on the field. I know some people, the last big game, red, white, and blue big game, there was a guy out there dipping, and he was playing paintball, and he had a dip in, and he's shooting, and he would just... And so, I mean, hey, if you dip and play paintball, this is perfect for you. I don't dip and play paintball, so if you dip and play paintball, this is the mask to think about. Or if you even smoke and play paintball and you're a ref and you have a long way to walk, you can pull out a cig and then just stick it right under, because you can really flex it above your mouth. Or if you're a ref and you're playing, or not playing, but if you're a ref, you can take drinks of water. So one of the other cool things about the E-Flexs and most of like every Empire mask in general is that it has the nice wavy little silicone grippy thing on the back. If most high-end masks, actually like all of them that I can think of off the top of my head, on the strap they have this silicone that sticks. All these masks that were up here, I believe the Slys do too. No, actually the Slys don't, but the Slys have a double strap on it. But it has a nice little silicone grip, so if you have a headband on or even a beanie or anything, that's really going to make sure that your head or this mask doesn't move, especially in the back. It's going to make sure that it doesn't slide up and fall off, which is really cool. The KLRs doesn't have like the nice wavy one. I don't know what it is. This doesn't seem nearly as intense as the E-Flexs or the Grillz or anything like that. I don't know what it is about like the straight lines, or if there just needs to be more of it. But for some reason, I don't know if it's just the wavy grips better, but as you can see, this is like in an up and down pattern, like almost like a heartbeat. It's just a big wave, and there's like 4 or 5 big waves of it. This only has 3 waves, or no waves, just straight line, 1, 2, 3, and it's just, I don't know, I didn't see that worked as well or gripped onto my beanie as well as anything else. So in general, I really like these E-Flexs. They've grown on me a little bit. Not my favorite mask. They're not my favorite. They have nice soft ears. They breathe really well. They're one of the best breathable masks that I have ever really used. You can't really flip out the soft ears like I'm about to show you on the I-Force. I mean, you sort of can, but you know, awesome, great mask. Now I'm down to basically this is Team Insanity's favorite that we all use. This is also my mask, my Grillz. I bought these just for reffing in general, and I use these to play with, and this mask has really grown on me, especially with this lens. This isn't the cool HDR lens, but what I really noticed with this lens is that it's basically a clear mirrored lens. Once you look on the inside, it doesn't make things a lot darker on the inside. When a lot of people put this on, they're like, wow, that's a really cool lens. And it really is. It doesn't make everything as dark as a lot of other lenses, which is really weird because it's sort of like a mirrored lens. As you can see, it has like the mirrored blue, especially out in the sun. You can really see the mirrored, and it kind of fades off. And V-Force has some really sexy lenses for their masks, which is really, really cool. And this is probably the best lens that I've ever used that's a mirrored lens, because it's like clear on the inside, sort of, but it's not like a actual clear lens. There's still a little bit of a tint to it, like a really low sunglasses, so you won't be squinting like this, so your eyes are still relaxed, almost like if you guys have used the HD lenses on the I-Force or basically any other HD lens out there, like a yellow tinted mask. If you're looking directly into the sun, you're really not like this with the clear lens you are. You know, it kind of really relaxes you. That's sort of what this is like, and I just really like this lens. I like the looks of it, but the Grillz do have a really bad echo. Almost as bad as the KLRs. I mean, it's because they don't have a nice soft ears. It's really flexible, but I feel like if they almost made like a few more cuts on the side, it wouldn't echo as much. But the thing is with the echo is that it's not that the voice isn't traveling out. Like the KLRs, the voice just doesn't seem to travel out. It really just travels back. It's not that this really travels back, because this really does project your voice really, really well. A lot of people have not had a problem with hearing me at all. I use this mask when I ref. so I can scream and people can really hear me. No one's had a problem hearing me at all with this, especially as I'm yelling. And I just think it's just a little bit comes back and really irritates me. And they do have an echo, and they do echo like a bitch, but I mean, they really make up for it with the lenses that comes with a nice little visor that you can put on it that's in my car, which is someplace in hell. And you also get a chin strap that I don't use because I don't use chin straps because I feel like I'm choking. But this is definitely, this mask really surprised me more than I really thought it would. I really enjoy it. I got it for reffing because it has nice coverage. The only thing about the V-Force Grillz is that it doesn't have as much of range on the eyes. I mean, you can definitely see the difference between the i4's lens and the Grillz lens. Is that the i4 lens is freaking huge. You're like in a bubble. There's no constriction at all on the i4 lens. Is that this lens is it's great. Or this lens is very great. This lens sort of has like a little bit of a constriction, especially when you put the visor on. I feel like I'm in a Spartan helmet because I can't see like anything above me. So I mean, it's definitely a little bit lower of a range, a little bit lower of a vision, a lot different than the i4s, the E-Flexes, anything like that. But I mean, this is the best. I would recommend this after the Proflexs because it's the next cheapest. It comes in right under the Slys, I believe. It's the next cheapest. It won't fog on you. It's nice. It gives you a lot of coverage. I recommend this for bigger guys that are like back players, even though I see a lot of bigger players using the i4s all day long, but it gives you nice coverage. It really covers your whole face. It does have a sort of a weird echo, but really, other than that, this is the next best mask that I really recommend along with the JT Proflexs because it gives you a lot of bang for your buck. If you can get out of the echo, then, you know, you should be fine. Next, my favorite, along with mostly everyone on Team Insanity. Everyone owns this mask on Team Insanity, and we're not sponsored by i4s or anything. We just love this mask. But generally, a lot of really small guys use these. I really highly recommend this if you're a small guy and you don't have bitch face. And what I mean by bitch face is that you don't care if you get shot on the jaw. Almost every time I go to indoor and play indoor, it never fails that I always get shot right on my jawline. And believe me, they hurt like a bitch. They really hurt. If you guys have been shot in between the fingers, getting shot on the jaw is a little bit worse. But I mean, you get over it. But you get over it. Believe me, it's fine. You'll be fine. But if you don't like that and you don't want to get shot on the jaw, V-Force Grillz, Empire Events, E-Flexs, basically all the masks up here that I recommended. And don't fold up the E-Flexs if you don't want to get shot in your jaw as well. But you know, it is a little bit smaller of a mask, but with that being said is that it really breathes if you're a big guy. Okay, that's why DJ really loves him. DJ, he has a huge face. When DJ's screaming, if you watch him on camera, his mouth is like down here. Okay, he just has a big face in general. Everything is hanging out, but he doesn't care if he gets shot in the head. He doesn't have bitch face. And it's not a big deal, it's just your personal preference. If you don't want to get shot on your jawline, just don't get this mask. The other thing about the i4s, I mean, you know, they're small, but the back of the ears, man, I've been shot in the back of the ear, and it sucks. It's because it's just such a small mask, and this soft ear really does not go down as far as, let me just grab the Grillz. I mean, you can really see how far down that goes on your ear. Even the E-Flexs, you can see how much lower that soft ear goes, okay, than the i4 one. It really rounds off. So again, big face, your ears might be exposed a little bit, or the back of your ears. I've been bunkered, and I got shot like right here, right in the back of the ear where my jaw meets everything. And I got shot, and I like right in the soft spot, and everything went black for like 2 seconds, and I like fell down to the ground. I was like, holy shit, what the fuck? And I got up, and I got out of my bunker, but I was like, wow, that was really weird. And I just got domed right in the very back of the ear. So these are very small. So if you don't want to take those hits, I don't really care. DJ doesn't care, and his whole face sticks out of these. If you don't care and you really want these have amazing vision. These is like the most best vision mask out there. These breathe really well, but it's just not for everyone. It has great foam. The other thing that I really like about these soft ears is when I was reffing, or on those very hot days, what Jacob and I do is that we flip up the soft ears like this. Mine are really broken in, so mine stick up like this. If you can wear your soft ears out just a little bit, you just unvelcro them, and right before the game you velcro them back down, but they stick out, and you really, I mean, it breathes even more after this. It's basically like not wearing a mask back here, okay? It sticks out really well. Right before the game, you just slide them back in, bada bing, bada boom. This has the least echo out of any mask that I've ever used. The E-Flex is like right up there, but I don't know what it is, but these can hear really, really well, and they really project the voice, and they have like zero echo. I don't know what it is, but they are fucking amazing with no echo. So, other thing is that these lenses, the nice mirrored lenses, be careful with these. They scratch very, very, very easily. You look at it and you can watch it scratch, okay? You can literally look and scratch it with your mind. You can scratch just the living daylights out of this. Wiping off paint with a microfiber, the shell rubbing on it, you can scratch it and then it looks like shit, and then you have like this big black line and you're like, huh? And you don't know which side to look. I don't know. I had that problem with my mask or my old lens. So I really take good care of these. And the mirrored lenses look cool, but they scratch the easiest out of any lenses I have ever seen in the world, honestly. I don't know what it is, but they scratch easiest. The other thing is when the sun shines down on a lot of these masks, as you can see that they have the nice little breathable ports up here. When the sun shines down, it's basically impossible to see because it's dark in here, and then it just reflects right at you and it blinds you. If the sun's right above you at noon and you're playing and it's shining down right here, it's have fun seeing you. I always put my hand up here. One guy actually recommended is that I did see when you put a visor on you don't have that, but what he did, right at noon, he carries like electrical tape, or a very thin piece of hockey tape it was, because electrical tape will leave a sticky residue, is that so you don't get that bad vision thing, is he would put a strip of tape right there so none of the sun can come in and shine down. Works perfectly fine. It's just better than a visor because then it doesn't restrict your view up here. But that, I would recommend that with the i4s or any other lens in here if you have that problem. Some lenses have that, but I've seen it worse on the i4s than I have on any other mask out there. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the lens. I don't know if it's the inside of the lens, but it basically, it's like someone driving with bright lights on, and when they're right by you, you can't see anything in front of you. You can only see a few things in front of you. That's really what this is. I didn't have that problem with the HD lens. I didn't have that problem with basically any lens that I put in this other than the mirrored lens. So I just had that with the mirrored lens. But the HD lens for this, really, really awesome lens. I highly suggest that too. But if you want to look at, get this. Quick lens is awesome. Out of all these masks that I put up here, they are, other than this one for sure. Remember, don't cheap out. Don't buy the cheap ass mask. All these that I put up here, you can take those, you can change out masks. They have a quick release other than the Slys, but they have nice lens changing systems. They're backed by awesome companies. If your foam wears out, you can buy new foam. Okay, I have no idea who makes this or whoever makes the masks at Dunham's or anything like that. Who knows? How would I be able to buy foam for this mask? Hell no. If I scratch this lens, am I going to be able to replace this mask or this lens? Nope. I don't even know how to can take this thing out. So remember, just don't get a cheap mask. Get one of the nice expensive ones. It'll save you a lot of time and hassle in the long run. Any of the ones that were up here today are great. Go watch reviews on them specifically in general on our channel. If you have any other questions, hit us up in the comments below, or go check out our form. Go to our website and our form is posted, and ask questions in the form. So help grow that form, and you can just ask questions in there. But honestly, just don't get these cheap ones, okay? There's different masks for different preferences. You know, obviously if you're a big guy, i4s, throw those out the window. KLRs are a little bit smaller, a little bit better of a coverage, but you know, again, V-Force, E-Flexes, E-Vents, those for bigger guys, that kind of stuff. So I recommend different masks for each person. You know, I like the i4s. The i4s might not be right for you. So it just really depends. you know, I like the Grillz, you might like I4s more. It really depends upon your playing style. Test them out. A lot of these masks are at your local field. Just go put them on, look at yourself in the mirror, take a selfie with them on and say, hey, I don't like how this is hanging out, or I don't like, I can hear myself right here. Just test it out, try before you buy. Believe me, you won't go wrong buying any of those masks unless if you're small, or unless if you're a big guy with a big face and you get the I4s and you hate getting shot in the jaw. But other than that, guys, hope that really helped out. It wasn't a big comparison video because there's a lot of bias on different masks. I just list off a bunch of features on them to help out people and eliminate masks that they may or may not want. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, especially the new players. I hope this helped you out especially. Don't get cheap masks, get in a nice expensive mask. Deuces. In the back of the ear, when I was playing indoor once, I sort of got bunkered. Stop, I was going, you fucker!
Take 12.